Everyone, Isaac here, back in with a new video, and today I mainly wanted to do this idea, for a while actually, show off some of my collectible stuff. Now I know it may roll to bragging, but I mainly don't want to be bragging about my freaking, I don't know, bootleg dry Bowser plush. This is actually a really cool plush, but anyways, or talking about my here, look, I don't want to brag about my little goofy figure, okay? So anyway, yes, I know those things are for little kids. I don't know. I have those, but oh, sorry, but anyways, so you might know the collectible series known as Funko Pops. They are, little collectibles, and are hugely debatable. Well, now I have a few of these Funko Pops. Pops mainly from series that I do enjoy, because when I collect things, I mainly don't think about their rarity or their price. It's mainly just something that I enjoy. Now, we got a few Pops here, kind of a lot, and I wanted to also remind you that I do have a few Pops that I used to have, but I don't, but I'll talk about those at the end of the video. So anyways, I'm just going to divide them into, series. So, let's begin with the series that everyone wants Funko Pops for, which is the Five Nights at Freddy's series, obviously, of course. So, I don't know, let's just start with the first one here, Mr. Hippo from Five Nights at Freddy's 6. Now, if you played FNAF, you know the character Mr. Hippo, kind of a joke character, especially in the game Ultimate Custom Night, where he tells very long and drawn-out stories. Now, to be honest here, now, I'm not really going to go into the Funko Pop controversy or whatever, but to be honest, it's, okay. Obviously, every Funko Pop just has head movement, but since, Mr. Hippo can't turn his head full 360 degrees, here his thumb gets stuck on his head. But to be honest, it's okay. And this is probably literally the only Mr. Hippo merchandising we got outside of a mystery mini and a plush. No action figure. How could you, Funko? I'm kidding. I don't even really like Funko stuff that much, but whatever. Next is Nightmare Freddy. Now, Nightmare Freddy, I used to been terrified of this one. Obviously, I'm now older. This was actually my second pop I ever gotten. And to be honest here, as a little figure of Nightmare Freddy, it's pretty cool. But when you actually take it to the context of the game, it is really inaccurate. There's no for some reason Nightmare Freddy has red eyes, which I know the theming of Funko Pops are like to have like weird, black hollow eyes, which maybe that's why some people don't really like them. I don't understand why Nightmare Freddy has red eyes. He always was seen with orange eyes. The one that was seen with red eyes were Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare, but yeah, well, why don't we get any Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare merchandising? Why? Okay, but anyways. Also, his endoskeleton is completely warped. It looks like melted cheese and not an endoskeleton. But he has very sharp teeth. And it also just looks like the Freddy Pop, but just withered and sharp teeth. Now, moving on is the Nightmare Foxy Pop. The Nightmare Foxy Pop is a very interesting design. For some reason, unlike Nightmare Freddy's Pop, Nightmare Foxy does not feature an endoskeleton on his withering, as you can see here. It's mainly a blackness. But then again, really, would I have melted cheese withering or endo or no endo at all? I'd probably go with no endo. He has gigantic metal feet. And at least I know that Nightmare Foxy does not have an eye patch, unlike the plush version, where he does for some reason. And overall, it is actually kind of okay, there was like these pop t-shirts, if you didn't know that exist, and I had one, a Nightmare Foxy. However, it didn't fit me, so yeah. They don't call me the Illinois fat because I'm morbidly obese. Okay, but nobody calls me that. But anyways, it's an okay figure. I don't. Wait a minute. Does Nightmare Foxy have a case over his hook? Oh yeah, he does. Alright, well, they're accurate on that part, so I'll give them that. He also has orange eyes, which really should it apply to Nightmare Freddy 2? I think Nightmare Foxy has orange eyes. I don't remember. I haven't played FNAF 4 in like forever. And they give Mr. Hippo blue eyes. Okay, but anyways, moving on. Moving on, anyways, to our next figure, which is the Golden Freddy. Now, I like, now this one was very silly. Golden Freddy is supposed to be like this quote-unquote, like, exclusive figure, like, made, Golden Freddy was mainly made for, a New York Comic-Con thing, festival, whatever. And I don't know, he probably cost like $1 million, I don't know, freaking know, but, I found him in a thrift store for $10. He's not rare, unless the box was brutally damaged. I'm assuming if it was intact, it would be more expensive, but literally every single pop is more expensive when their boxes are intact, but, yeah, here, to be honest, here, I don't know if I do indeed like how they took the golden part seriously. I don't know. I don't know if I prefer him just being yellow or just, doing this cool all gold idea, because he's gold and Freddy, of course, but whatever. And this is actually really one of the only pops, a few of the only pops with actual eyes, with actual eyeballs, but for some reason, they seem a little crooked on mine for some reason. And they give him upper teeth and a black ribbon for some reason, but like literally Funko messes that up every time. And they also leak the FNAF stuff, so Scott, renew Sanchi's license, give NECA the license to make action figures and stuff, and let Funko not have your license anymore. Like, really? Anyways, moving on here. This is actually my favorite FNAF. Not my favorite pop, but my favorite FNAF pop. Dark Springtrap, or as I like to call him, Dark Trap. This one is mainly interesting because this is kind of a made-up character Funko, man. Apparently, on the description, it's, quote, they made this, I am quoting right here, Springtrap transforms into this when he's really angry. Really? But anyways. Like, why? Why would you say that? Is so stupid. But anyways. Now, to be honest, which one would you rather have? A darkened Springtrap that looks like the aftermath of the Fazbear Fright's burn down, or a Springtrap with his mask open, revealing the ghost purple guy? Which one would you prefer? But anyways, to be honest, I actually do really like this. Actually, a little bit more than the original Springtrap figure for some reason. It's not really black, it's more dark green, and the eyes here white. Like, it mainly is kind of cool looking, but that description was so stupid. To be honest, I think Dark Springtrap is like an actual canon character, maybe, in the FNAF lore. Probably is, I don't know. Moving on here, this one was originally planned just to be the SpongeBob section, but then I realized I had more Nickelodeon characters, so I wanted to make this the Nickelodeon section. But then again, I had more cartoon characters, so I just said screw it and just... Oh, wait a minute. We have one more FNAF pop. I'm so bad at remembering stuff. Just make sure I don't have any more so I don't mistake. So, Funtime Foxy! Yes, I don't know why I have this figure. I have the plush of Funtime Foxy, which, personally, in my opinion, is the best Sister Location Series 3 plush from FNAF. But, anyways, I don't really know. The thing was a pain to stand up on my shelves, because it kept on getting toppled over every time. I mean, it has the tail. I don't really know what to say. I never really wanted this figure. I just got it for, like, my birthday. And, like, I don't know, it just exists, I guess. One negative. I mean, it looks like Funtime Foxy, but like, what is those eyes? Like, what were you thinking, Funko, when coming up with these eyes? All right, so that's all the FNAF pops, I swear. Anyways, so like I was saying originally, I was planning on this just being a SpongeBob, then Nickelodeon's, but then I realized I had more characters from cartoons that I really didn't want to put in like the other or their own section, so I said screw it and just made it the cartoon section. So we're gonna start from the oldest cartoons to the newest, starting with Mickey Mouse. This is the actual Diamond Select version of Mickey, and as you can tell, this is actually the older version of Mickey. I don't really want to showcase my other paw, but you'll find out when I get the other one. Anyway, so this one has, open hands out, which I never understood why Donald and Minnie had the same pose as Mickey. I understand Minnie, that was probably easy fix, but why Donald? He also has a longer tail, and surprisingly, glitter doesn't get all over me, so that's good. I kind of like it being on glitter, but one problem I have with it that it's mainly more gray. Yeah, it's mainly more gray than black, which is kind of a disappointment. And also, what is going on with those feet? But anyways, moving on. Moving on to our next Mickey is the Conductor Mickey. Now, as you can see here, there's a massive difference with the face, because Funko actually got it correct now. The snout is longer, and the eyes are not as spread out. So this one is easily the, inferior. This one's easily the inferior version, but to be honest, it is still a, classic. Conductor Mickey. This one was for the 90th years of Mickey, but I have no idea which short this Mickey is based off of. Now, I do have an idea what the suit is referencing. It's referencing a short called Symphony Hour, where Mickey conducts a play, which is totally original. I mean, it wasn't done in the band concert, the first Mickey Mouse short in color, but, anyways. Yeah, I don't know, like, Goofy crushes the instruments and they work with, like, non-working instruments. But the funniest part of the short is when Donald quits and then Mickey rushes up to the door and points a gun at him. Using Mickey's child friend, he points a gun at Donald. And that is one of the most hilarious moments in Mickey Mouse history. But here's a problem. As you can see here, Mickey's using a stick. In the short, he actually does not conduct with a stick. He conducts with his hands. So, I don't know, accidental. But then again, to be honest, who conducts with their hands? Stupid looking. But anyways, it is actually a pretty okay pop. If you didn't know, I actually did review this pop a long time ago. But, a pretty long time ago. But, I guess this is my review. And to be honest, it is actually a pretty okay pop. Okay, but anyways, it is definitely an improvement over the original Mickey. I actually did also want a Santa Mickey pop, but yeah, whatever. This one's fine. I do like it. Also, the tail is not as long. So, moving on to the next character, Donald Duck. It's not Donald Duck, that says Kingdom Hearts. It's like, what are you doing? Okay. So, actually, I always wanted the Donald Duck Kingdom Hearts pop, but I wanted mainly his wizard appearance, but this is okay. Now, if you compare, actually, the original Donald pop to this one, you can tell that the beak is longer and is definitely way better. He got his weird wand. I'm not really a big fan of the Kingdom Hearts series. I think it focuses too much on anime boys and Disney. But anyways, so, whack, whack, whack. And I didn't really talk about the head moves that much, but all the other pops aside from Mr. Hippo can't move his head flying, but just like Mr. Hippo, Donald can't. The wand gets stuck, so yeah. Anyways, he looks like he's preparing for a fight, and look at them eyebrows. Yeah, man. Wait, I gotta do it in the Donald voice. Yeah, man, I'm gonna break your spells. Okay, so, I eventually found this out when I was... There's a blue... Where did this blue splodge come from? What? It's probably like a very easy fix, but still, I don't have blue paint. And he has zippers to... Like, who thought of the idea to put zippers on his sailor hat? But, anyways, yeah. Those eyebrows, though. I like that. Anyways, moving on. on here is the characters that came from the 1940s. The good old classic duo that started the chase formula. Tom the Cat and Jerry the Mouse. Now, to be honest here, actually, Tom is probably my favorite Funko Pop. But, we'll just talk about Jerry first. So, with good old Jerry over here, I actually do think they did a pretty good job reconciling the character. You know, I actually always wanted Tom and Jerry Pops. Funko Pops. I remember seeing the Scooby Doo and wait, did they do Flintstones? I think they did Flintstones and Jetsons, maybe. I don't know. I always wanted, man, when are they gonna do Tom and Jerry? And then my wish came true. My wish came true. They did Tom and Jerry Pops. Sadly, they really didn't do that much. I was expecting them to do, the other characters, like, the Bulldog Spike and the Alley Cat Butch and, the little gray mouse Nibbles. His name is not Tuffy, but they made one with Tom and Jerry and then them holding dynamite and bombs and then a flocked version. Pretty generic. But, anyways, yes, this is Cherry. Jerry holding a piece of cheese. And actually, funny enough here, Jerry is actually a smaller pop, as you can compare it to. I like that they did that, unlike those plushes I reviewed a long time ago, where Jerry was like the same size as Tom, which really messed it up. Like, couldn't you just make him a few inches shorter, like the pop did? The pop actually succeeded more than the plush, and this pop looks even more scarier. Okay, but anyways, looks pretty cool, actually. Really enjoy it. Now, can we just respect Tom, man? Easily my favorite. I just love Tom from Tom and Jerry. He's like the best character ever for some reason. And I love his pose so much. He's like, hey, can't you want some candy? I like the idea of the cleaver. When I originally thought of the idea of Tom and Jerry Pops, I wanted Tom to actually hold a mallet, but to be honest here, I actually like the cleaver more. It looks so brutal. He got his hand out like this with a cleaver behind his back. It's way better pose than I thought originally. And, if I ever wanted a pop holding a mallet, I could just get the Chase exclusive Woody Woodpecker pop, but whatever. Tom got that long, slim body and that long tail. He is basically a shrunken man version of himself, but, with soulless eyes, which creeped me out. One problem I have with it is I wish, for some reason, Tom went through a color change for his time. Once he was blue originally, but then he turned gray, then back to blue. Sadly, he's gray, and to be honest, I actually do prefer him actually being blue. Yes, it is an easy fix, but to be honest, I really don't want to mess it up because it's my favorite. Next is he's my favorite pop. But next is the characters from the 90s obscure Nickelodeon show. We might as well give a little bit of history on these two. These two come from a show called Angry Beavers, which aired on Nickelodeon, following the misadventures of Mr. Daggett and Mr. Norbert. This was actually a show I did enjoy, so that's why I got Funko Pops of them. And to be honest, it is actually a kind of cool show. I haven't watched it in forever, but still, whatever. I don't really know which one to review first. We might as well just look at Daggett first, because I'm holding him, and you could see him. So Daggett here looking angry with his arms on his shoulders. Got that beaver flapping tail and the weird things. To be honest, I wish there was one, like, they did another one of these exclusives, which were flocked, but to be honest, I would like one where he was completely brutal and his fur was, like, ripped, because Daggett always gets abused in the show, and I think it was funny, I would like a pain pop, please, but anyways, so, yeah, very simple design, very simple pose, got the buck teeth. Now, moving on from his brother, Norbert. Now, since Norbert got that shaggy hair, he's freaking heavy. Really heavy, actually. I think he's like my heaviest pop I actually own. Because, I don't have big Funko Pops. I hide behind the corner. See what I tell you. But, anyways, so, yeah, Norbert's in a pretty, generic pose here. Just has his arms crossed with a big old smirk on his face. He mainly has the same things as Daggett, like the big flappy tail. And his like weird fangs are not that sharp. To be honest, they're pretty cool characters. Now, I actually did. I was planning on making a video where I did actually review these pops, but I think the video was taken down because I I ripped the Angry Beavers intro. Thank God it did, because that was a really stupid video. I am so sorry, family members. You had to witness me making that really crappy video. Thank you. Thank you, Viacom. Thank you, Viacom, for taking the video down. Okay, so, anyways, moving on here. Here is, characters from 1999. The last of the cartoon slot. And it's from that, man who lives in a pineapple under the sea, SpongeBob. And Patrick and Squidward. Now, there was actually SpongeBob pops that did exist for a time, but then they got discontinued, and a new series popped up with Christmas-themed ones, and yes, guys, started rolling in. And then there was one of SpongeBob, Gary, in a pineapple house. Can we give one of Mr. Krabs and playing with the Krusty Krab and Chum Bucket, please? Okay, bye, love you, bye. Anyways, so as you can tell, this one is obviously based off the imagination meme, or, that, scene from Idiot Box, which, has been memed. And to be honest, I like that, the glass is, like, transparent. I don't really understand why it's, like, so close to his face, though. Like, can you, like, can the rainbow back off, please? But, yeah. As you can obviously tell, this one, same goes for the Angry Beavers, and this one, he can't move his head because it's one giant mold. And I mean, it looks like SpongeBob, but obviously the soul is eyes. But I don't actually, if we actually got the eyes, actually looking like SpongeBob, this may have actually been a pretty okay figure. But actually there is figures of SpongeBob out there. Like, they started releasing these new SpongeBob figures that are like memes, like the handsome Squidward and the Sponge Guard and the surprise Patrick. And then there was ones of the ice cream popsicle figures with the weird Cyclops one, and then they made ones based off of 1930s cartoons, which actually did look pretty good. And then they made one of a weird Squidward hat that I saw on Target with my father, and I thought it looked hilarious. Same for him. Anyways, moving on here is Patrick. Obviously, as you can tell here, he got a big sad frown in his face, but this is actually mainly referencing this one scene in one episode where SpongeBob got a seahorse friend called Mystery, and SpongeBob was saying, "Oh, Patrick's gonna make a thing for you." What are those things called when you put a horse on like a stand or whatever? But there's the classic scene where he had a nail for his head. I know Patrick looked kind of disappointed in that scene, but he mainly had a blank expression on his face. He didn't have a sad frown on his face. He looks more sad that he got the board in his head. Because in the original one, he did have a blank expression, but now he just looks sad. I don't know, the lack of a belly button, I don't know where his, spots are. And there's a giant seam coming out of his hand there. It looks like it's about to get ripped off. But, and I also wish he was actually sitting down, because he was sitting down when he, in the scene as well. But that's just going into nitpicky territory. Overall, it is actually a pretty good palm and represents the character fine. So, yeah, it's Patrick for you. Okay, so anyways, moving on here is, Yoga Squidward. I don't know. What is this based off of? It's probably based off the modern season, because I remember this one episode where, like, Squidward goes into SpongeBob's body or something. It's really weird. I don't watch the modern seasons anymore. But, yeah, this is Squidward. Obviously, his head can't move at all. Got the big nose and frown. He's in, he has a yoga suit on. Very, very simple for Squidward. But what is his base? Usually, I can understand why including a base, obviously, of course. But Funko bases mainly are just the glass floor with the peg of the character. They don't have this seam coming out of their back. It just looks unnatural. Looks weird, but yeah. SpongeBob, what are you doing in my coral? That was so stupid sounding. But yeah, Squidward. Pretty okay. I wish they included one. It'd be pretty cool if they actually included one of the robot crabs from the Crabborg episode. That would have been pretty cool. Anyways, moving on here is the others or miscellaneous pops. These are mainly characters who mainly I couldn't really fit in a category. Starting with the game Cuphead with the puppet Cuphead because I was holding it. Anyway, so this one comes from the game Cuphead, where there's a genie boss and then he makes you into like a puppet clone or something like that. It looks like the one from the game, and those black soulless eyes really add the feature, but what happened here? Game off! Okay, but this happened before, but we can get a much more easier detail of his hand now. This is that's way too close. As you can see here, like, he's shooting out of his hand, but I got that nice detail in the game where, like finger comes off and then starts shooting. I don't know. It would have been pretty cool if there was one with the strings, but yeah, whatever. I mean, he looks like the cup puppet. I don't know what to call. People called him Puphead, but the box stated he was called Cuphead, which Puphead is much more better of a name. But screw it, I'm calling him the Marion, the Cup Net. The cup net. There you go. That's a name people should be using for this character. The Cup Net. That would be a good name. Freaking get a stupid arm. Anyways, moving on here. My next Cuphead pop figure. I don't really know why I have this character, but Miss Chalice. Funny enough, this character is in the DLC. She's basically the legendary Chalice, but with legs. But anyways, yeah. Why would you make a figure of a character who's not actually officially announced? Yeah, we know that this character exists. We know that the character got a design, but the DLC hasn't come out yet, so I don't know what they were thinking. I can't really, I don't know, man. It looks cool, okay? It looks cute. Okay. Anyways, moving on here is all Crush Bandicoot. Yeah, this is the Crash Bandicoot, yeah. Yeah, the biggest grin I ever seen, and it is really terrifying. I got really bushy eyebrows, the hair, the hands on the hips. Can't turn his head because that's impossible. I guess he's an idiot. But anyways, the big sneaker shorts. Yeah, it's Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, very simple design. And then they went out of there. They just went crazy with that. Made a black and white one. Made a scuba one. Made a speedster one. Made fake Crash. That one was actually kind of cool looking, but kind of went out of your way there. Oh my god, this guy's arm keeps on popping off. Probably super glue it. Next up is the neighbor from Hello Neighbor. Now, this one is, you might know, is a Toys R Us exclusive, and Toys R Us went out of business. So hey, it's kind of cool that I got this one. This one's is the weird Jacko neighbor. I don't know where this actually originates from. Got a weird seam right there, but it's probably due to scratches because this thing keeps on toppling over. But I think it comes from like a Halloween image. But I mean, to be honest, I do like the shovel. It is an iconic thing for the neighbor, and there's a crow on it, which, to be honest, that's pretty cool. But I think in the original image, he was the pumpkin neighbor was holding the neighbor's head, if that made any sense. So basically, he was holding his own head. I guess they didn't want to do that because that would be too hard, because, like, they made the head so big, which I'm assuming that's the reason why. Toys R Us exclusive. Yeah, man, I got this. Toys R Us almost closed down. So, yeah, there you go, guys. Okay, but anyways, next is Dead Boris from Bendy and the Ink Machine. He's dead. Got the chest ripped out and a wrench shoved in it, got the X's on his eyes. Yeah, he's dead. I like the idea. I thought this, like, weird suspender thing was, like, flat down. I thought That was on the Funko Pop originally, but no, it wasn't. It still looks cool, though. It looks like a dead Boris. He's a dead man. Anyways, before we move on to my final one, this one, let's talk about the ones that I don't have with me right now. You got the Searcher from Bendy and the Ink Machine, the common enemy. It doesn't move its head for some reason, but even though it looked like it could possibly do that, but it's fine. Steamboat Willie, this one was actually really cool. There was technically two versions of Steamboat Willie. One that was like hands on his hips, and one with the wheel. I had the one with the wheel, but sadly the wheel came off in his tail and his hat, so he was basically done for. I wish I can get that one again, because I actually did really like that one. That one actually was pretty cool. Next is the neighbor without the pumpkin head, so it was just a normal neighbor pop. It's pretty good. Next is the Boris pop with a can of bacon soup from Bendy and the Ink Machine. I like that one even more than the original one, because it just looks so cool. I wish that was the default one. That would have been pretty sick. But it's really oh, and then I got one of the Striker enemy from Bendy and the Ink Machine. It looks scary. It looks scary. Yep, that's what it is. Yeah, and I think that's all the Funko Pops I had. But wait a minute, I have one more, and his name is John Cena. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, yeah, of course, it's John Cena, my favorite wrestler from WWE. And actually, funny enough, this was my first ever Funko Pop. So John Cena, pretty generic stance, to be honest. I wish he was, like, throwing a fist, maybe. But then again, almost every Funko Pop stance is like this. So, yeah. He's probably my most, out of all the Pops I have, he's, like, I have with me right now, he's the most generic one. And as you can tell with his head, it swivels, it turns, it spins around much looser than all the other ones for some reason, but, I mean, it does not look like John Cena at all. What am I saying? It doesn't even look like John Cena. I mean, it's dressed like John Cena, but does it look like John Cena? Heck, I would love an exclusive one where he, is in a fridge, from the Fred movies, but, hey guys, it's Fred! My dad was John Cena in the fridge, and I went to the grocery store, and my mother gave me a grocery list, but I ate it. Okay. Oh my god, Fred. Anyway, so, yeah, that's John Cena. So anyways, that's all the Funko Pops I told you about. Maybe I can do more collections, like I can talk about all my Mario collections, or all my, I don't know, FNAF collections. Maybe go into review with the NECA figures up there. But, I don't know, yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. This video is going on way too long. I apologize.